Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome. House Culture Conversations. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Let me get my face on the screen here. I'm not seeing anybody. Where are you guys at? I'm not seeing you. Let's see if I can find out where everybody is. Testing, 1, 2. Hey, there you are. Happy Saturday. Good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging with us on House Culture Conversations, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. It is going to be an amazing evening with an amazing guest. Before we get started, I want to let everybody know tomorrow on Sunday, Soul Lifter Sunday, check us out on Twitch. All women DJ raid party, Stunning Moon, DJ Harami, Sweet D Sauce, DJ Black Gold, and DJ Circuit. So be on the lookout tomorrow, Sunday, Soul Lifter Sunday. It's the third Sunday of the month. Once a month, all women DJ raid party. So check it out tomorrow. But without further ado, I'm excited about our guest tonight. He is someone that I believe has just a rich and deep understanding of culture and music as it relates to the thing we love, and that's house. So let's bring him to the stage. DJ Good. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you going?
It's going pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good out here trying to deal with the weather, so it's going good.
Well, hey, we were talking before we got together. It sounds like you have some weather coming in and you're going to need a couple shovels.
Oh, yeah. We need a couple shovels, need a couple snow plows. So, a little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, it's been a lot of weather coming your way so far this winter season.
Oh, yeah. We've been having a good bit of snow this year.
Now, you are in the Pennsylvania area, correct?
Yeah, we up in like northern Pennsylvania, up by going upstate New York, kind of, sort of.
Well, hey, welcome to the fam that is coming in and getting situated. Momo TV LYFE, what's good? Good to see you. DJ Wish from the UK. So good to see you guys. Breeze, DBL. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you are lurking, hey, thanks so much. We are going to have an amazing time with DJ Good. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and DJ Soul Dave, where you been all my life. So good to see you, DJ Soul Dave. Man, it was really good to see him. He is one of our Thursday morning diehards, so it's so good to see him. But anyway, tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up, and did you come from a musical background?
Yeah, I came in from Mississippi, a little small town in Mississippi, and right now I live in Pennsylvania. By way of New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey for like 30 years, and I just moved out to Pennsylvania like a couple of years ago. And musical family, kind of, sort of. I guess you could say that, kind of, sort of. And my uncles, they listen to music all the time, so that's how I used to get involved in the music thing when I was little.
Now, what did they play? A lot of R&B?
Yeah, they used to play a lot of R&B stuff, a lot of disco, and when I was a kid growing up, I was one of those kids that was, growing up in Mississippi, it was really hot, at nighttime, and I could never sleep, and the TV would only be on for so long, and I would just literally be up all night listening to radio, listening to music all night long. My brother and my sister would be asleep, and my mom and them. And I would listen to music like all night long for hours. And by the time school started, couldn't stay awake in school because I was up all night listening to music.
Now, what were some of your favorite artists back then when you were growing up?
Oh, man. Because we, at that time, you was listening to a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, okay. Midnight Star, the SOS Band, groups like that. Used to hear them on the radio all the time, and a little bit of Luther too.
Now, do you remember any of your favorite songs from those artists when you were growing up?
Oh man, Midnight Star, man. I used to listen to Midnight Star all the time, man. When they, especially that No Parking on the Dance Floor album, uh, Freakazoid, Slow Jam on that album, uh, 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 Operator on that album, Electricity on that album. That was one of my greatest albums. I used to listen to constantly all the time growing
Eva
up.
House Music, so good to see you. Thanks for vibing with us. Joe Beats 001, welcome in. We are just getting started hanging out with DJ Good. House Culture Conversation. Once again, thanks for joining us. So no parking, baby. No parking
Yeah.
on the dance floor.
Oh man, yeah, all day.
No, man, you can almost go back. I remember back then, I had some dance moves. I don't
Oh,
call it dancing anymore. I just call it movement now.
well, yeah, the same here, same here. And, my grandfather used to get so upset. He used to turn that music off, boy. Because we used to listen to it over and over and over and all the time. But I listened to it over. I listened to it so much. It was just listening to the beats they was coming up with, the music, how they was making this music. I was like, man, this is pretty. This sounds pretty good.
Now, when did you get into DJing?
I got into DJing when I was 13, and it was a funny kind of thing. Like I said, I was growing up, and by that time, you know, you was listening to a lot of electro, Planet Rock, Playing at Your Own Risk, Pac Jam, all those kinds of songs that was coming out then, and like electro kind of stuff. It was basically club music at that time. And I used to just listen to it all the time. And this guy came to my high school when I was 13. He moved there, his parents moved there, and one day he just talking to him, just like any kid in school. But then he started selling these 30-minute cassette tapes for like $5 to people. So I bought one and I started listening to it, and how he was blending all these electro tracks that sounded pretty cool. And I was like, man, I thought he was recording it on the radio. So because they had these DJs back then, they used to do that on the radio on Saturday nights coming out of New Orleans and stuff. So I would record them and go to school and play it. But he was actually making it. So he lived like around the corner from my aunt. So I used to catch the bus after school to my aunt's house. And I went over to his house one day, and he was like, yeah, Ennis, come on in, man. We're gonna make some music. I walked up into his bedroom and never seen anything like that in my life. This dude had Technique turntables, a mixer, and all these big speakers. Never seen nothing like that before. And he started showing me how to blend beats. That's when the Technique turntables were belt driven, and they had that little rotary knob, that little rotary thing you had to put a pitch control. Oh man, and that's how I got started. And then I started doing that for about 6 months, and then I started buying my own records and things like that. And when he moved away, I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't grow anymore, so I had to start playing. So what I started doing was making my own mixtapes. They didn't sound very good, but after a while, they started getting better and better and better.
I guess the riches are in the try, right? The riches are in the try.
Yeah. I can actually still hear my sister right now. Ennis, turn that music down. They're playing too loud. And that's how I got started when I was 13. Just playing around.
That's my jam. What's good? Portia Live. That's my jam. Portia Live. Welcome in. Thanks for vibing with us. House Culture Conversations, hanging out with DJ Good. And we are just in the first inning. We are just warming up, y'all. So you get into DJing. Now, how did you take that beyond that? And I mean, you're in your early teens, but how did you mature as a DJ? It's the Candy Lady coming on in. Thanks for vibing with us. How did you start into maturing into your DJing?
Well, I started maturing into DJing when I started listening to a lot more hip hop, because at that time, it was more of a DJ and an MC, but I didn't care about the MC. I just wanted to know what the DJ was doing. And at that time, these guys were doing some amazing things. They was much older, and they started scratching and things like that. So I started trying to learn that, at the same time, because I had already figured out how to blend, how to count beats, and how to understand the music and where the breaks are and what to do. And I started doing stuff with hip hop over time, and it just started. It as I got older, it just actually started growing and coming together. The music, it it was almost like you can hear the music in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You just start to hear it and understand it after never taking a music class in your life, but you can kind of understand what the music was, how the music worked.
And so when did you kind of move from, and where are you at this time? Because you grew up in Mississippi. Have you made your way to New Jersey at this point?
At that point, no. I made my way to New Jersey in like 1991.
Okay.
So in 1991, uh, I was still playing hip hop, 92, 93, still playing hip hop. And then when I started my career working career, I started meeting people at my job that was like, man, I'm tired of listening to hip hop, man. Let's listen to some other music. By this time, it's 1996. And one of my friends that worked with me, he was playing some music. My neighbors were playing some music, and I was like, man, that sounds different, but it sounded pretty cool. I didn't know what it was, because again, when you lived in South Jersey at that time, Philly was hip hop DJs out of the world, DJ Ran and all of those cats, DJ J Ski and all those cats. They was doing that hip hop thing, mixing and scratching on the weekends. But
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I get that. It's the same thing. But my neighbors were starting to play a different style of music that was kind of like a dance thing. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It sounds great. And then my partner at work was like, man, let's listen to hip hop, man. Let's listen to some house music. I was like, what? He's like, man, this is some house music. And I'm thinking, okay, well, whose house we going to? He's like, he's like, it's music. You a DJ and you don't know? I was like, I never heard of it. And then he had a CD and he played in the ambulance. Oh man, it just blew my mind. I was like, oh man, this is what I need to hear, man. Like I want to hear music, not just the same old. I didn't want to keep hearing that same hip hop beat over and over. And he started playing it, and I started listening to it and started buying in. And believe it or not, one of the first house music DJs that I ever heard was Ruben Toro.
Mm.
Yeah, it was Ruben Toro was the first house music DJ I ever listened to in
Wow.
1996.
So now you heard how you said in the ambulance. So you guys are rocking house music in the ambulance. I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
And,
I always wonder what they were playing in the ambulance when they're going to pick up somebody. Now I know they play that house music.
Man, it's 2 guys in the ambulance, and was bored and listening, hearing people, oh, my stomach, oh, my head, and my partner was like, hey, man, let's play this right here.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
Dream Maker Diva. It's the Candy Lady. Just King Dave. Welcome in. Thanks for vibing with us on the House of Culture and Conversations. We are having a good time with DJ Good. Again, we might be in the second inning, but man, we are having a good time. I'm just enjoying this conversation. Why do you think house has been just so successful and pervasive? Just 40 years later, it's still rocking up.
Well, um, well, I think because it started reaching overseas. Well, let me change that. I think because when you got outside of the United States, house music is dominated by other countries except the United States. And what started happening was they started coming up with different genres of house. You had soulful, you got your Afro, you got your tech, you got your electro house, you got progressive house, you got different genres of house. So it was reaching so many people that you might like deep house, they had a version of house for everybody. So as I got to learn over the years, and And when I started playing it and I started understanding how it actually reached people's souls, like they actually like, man, this is actually touching people, these guys that are making this music. And when I started playing it and started listening to it more and more and more, because you're going to always gravitate to one genre more than you do the other, but that don't mean you don't like it all. But most people like just all kinds of forms of house. It's just music that just have so much influence on people, just no matter where you are around the world.
Joe Beach said it started in the tri-state. Cabasso LV, Cabasso LV, the man with the plan. Good to see you. Thanks for vibing with us on House Culture Conversations. So, did it start in the tri-state?
It kind of did, it kind of, when I started going through the history of it out in Chicago and New York, New Jersey area. Now it's moving to Baltimore, Atlanta, and things like that. But again, like, for the people that are out of the United States, when you come here, people, they want to hear it, but they don't realize it's only played in those areas because our country is dominated by pop, hip hop, rock, and country music and stuff like that. When other countries, most of the time, their countries is dominated by house music. So you can go anywhere outside of the United States and hear house everywhere. But did it originate here? Yeah, I could probably say that. Yeah, it did.
Okay. Well, we can argue about that later. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness! Hey, we got House Rebels Radio in the building. House Rebels Radio 10-year anniversary. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for getting in here. Midas Retouch. And also Dreammaker Diva. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, but let's talk about it again tomorrow. Soul Lifter Sunday, all women raid party. Check it out. Stunning Moon, DJ Harami, Sweet D Sauce, DJ Black Gold, and DJ Cirquette. It's going to be a good time. Don't miss it. But okay, how'd you get your name, DJ Good? What's the story behind that?
Oh man, you really want to hear that story?
I'm sure everyone's curious.
All right. When I was here in the 90s, again, like I said, I was doing hip hop. And one of my good friends that was friends since when I came to New Jersey back in 1990. And at his house one day, he decided he wanted to have a party. And these guys back in Mississippi because I was a kid, used to call me DJ Kid Mix, because I was a kid playing this music. So fast forward to New Jersey, he says to me, he says, hey, Innocent, listen, hey, I'm having a party at my house, man, just my neighbors and a couple of friends. Why don't you bring your equipment over and let's play some music, man? I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, just come on over and play some music, man. Play some of that hip hop that you'd be playing and stuff like that. I said, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. I said, well, say no more, man. So I packed up the gear and drove over to his house, set it up, and we're playing some music and stuff. And these people are dancing to all this hip hop and stuff and beat juggling and things. And this one guy was like, hey, man, who is that guy? Oh, the DJ you got over there, Terry. He said, oh, that's my man. He's a friend of mine. He said, yeah. He said, well, what's his name? He says, his name is Ennis. He said, that's his name? He said, yeah, that's his name. So he didn't understand what he was asking. He said, man, that guy is really good. He's like, he's really good, man. He said, so he comes up to me. He said, hey, man. He said, what's your name? I said, well, it was DJ Kid Mix, man. He said, bro, he said, you're too old to be a kid, man. He said, man, you good, man. Your name going to be DJ Good. So I'm thinking, yeah, all right. And he said, no, man, you're good. You're a good DJ, man. We never heard anything like that. And over time, it just stuck with me. And then one day I was at his house and his neighbor, come on. He said, man, that's DJ Good, man. And we thought it was a joke. And I just kept it after that. I'm like, man, that sounds pretty good, pretty catchy,
Hey, well, it is definitely stuck with the fam. Cabasso.
Yeah, somebody else gave me the name.
It's like somebody gave you the name and it's stuck.
Yeah.
Hey, Cabasso, I hope you are enjoying that vacation. DJ Paco D from Italy, welcome in all our folks across the pond who are staying up late to hang out with DJ Good. We appreciate you so much. Now, you're very active in the culture. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on is a lot of these folks that whether they're in the trick streets or whether they're, some of the headliners, you've been acquainted with a lot of them. Why is the culture so important to you?
Because I learned so much when you sit down with DJs and some people they want to be a DJ, but they don't understand. When you sit down with a DJ, we mostly talk music, and it learning the history of the music and how it was built and what it was doing and how it actually influenced people. Like when you go to a festival and a DJ is playing and he's talking in a way that only the people that's receiving this music can understand. So I became such a part of that. Like when I would go out and listen to these guys play music, and saw what it did to other people. Like, man, these people are really absorbing this music. It's actually feeling it in their soul. So it had a lot of influence on me, these DJs that I listened to. But there's a couple of DJs actually from the UK that had a huge impact on the way I play music.
That's incredible. Now let's turn to streaming for a minute. We were talking earlier, and do I understand this correct? You've been on Twitch for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years on Twitch. What is it about streaming that you enjoy so much?
I enjoy just the way the people react in the chat and listen to the music, because obviously I'm doing something that you like. I'm doing something that touches you and makes you feel a certain way, which that excites me. So I'm getting my message across, because that when you playing like that and you're somewhere where people can't physically touch you or anything, I get so much joy out of watching the chat and people putting up emotes, people talking, people interacting with each other and dancing in her house, because I know you are, because I am sometimes. But I get so much enjoyment out of that. And I gotta send a shout out to DJ Master G, because he is the one that got me doing it.
Well, I tell you, it's always a mentor or a colleague or someone that encourages and inspires us. I mean, my partner is, I still tout when I send out my House Culture Conversations promo, DJ Dewey B, because we have been friends since high school. So some 40 some years, and we've done music together. We've, hung out together all of our lives. And so even though he's not here today, he likes to be on the production side and more behind the scenes. It's just, he's always encouraged me. He's like, man, you need to go and do your thing, man. Go ahead, get your OBS, get your stuff fired up.
I sent a shout out to him, because if it wasn't for DJ Master G, you guys probably wouldn't even heard of DJ Good, because I've never even met the man. That's the funny part. Never seen the guy in my life, but I talked to him quite a bit and things like that. And it was just a crazy thing. One day I was sitting at home on my computer messing around and actually researching some house stuff, and some streaming stuff started coming up, because at that time my kids were growing up and they streaming their stuff. That's how I got started on Twitch. But Master G, he was one of those guys that he actually reached out to me one day on an email that I had sent out, trying to figure out how to start setting up platforms. And he said to me, he sent me an email back, and he says, "Hey, DJ Good, listen, come over to this station and listen to these guys." And the name of the station at the time was called Bedroom DJ. So I came over there and I listened to it, and I happened to have a party in my house, and I started playing the guy, and I was sending him pictures on WhatsApp of the people at the party that was listening to him play for DJ for us. And he was like, he played for 5 hours. He streamed for 5 hours. And after it was the next day, he called me and we started talking, and I said, well, how do I do it? He told me what to buy. And where to get it from. He sent me all the stuff, and I bought all the stuff. He told me how to connect it. He told me how to do it all. And one day he was like, well, listen to me stream on this radio station. He says, hey, listen, I got another radio station I want you to get on. It was called Ambition Radio. And it's still one of the biggest online radio stations ever right now, other than House FM. So that's when I met DJ Special Edition, Marcus LaSalle, and I started playing with those guys. And Master G was, again, he started it all. He was just like, listen, you need to play. I played with those guys for like 7-8 years with him. So I always got to thank Master G because he was such a big, he actually streams on Twitch and things like that. It's just people just don't know that he's there, but he is there. Yeah, and and that's when I started listening and getting into the UK guys and listening to how their music, for their love for house, just goes a long way. And at that same time, I met a guy named Toxic Deep. He is an Afro guy. And one day he was a DJ on that same station. He used to play deep music late at night. And I used to listen to him like, hey, man, this is never heard nothing like that. So he started sending me tracks that he was making. So I started listening to him, started playing them. And to this day, I still communicate with Toxic Deep. And I just want to send a shout out to him because, again, he put me into that Afro mold of listening to these guys out there in South Africa making music that nobody have never even heard of before. He was the one that put me into that Afro and South African sound.
Wow. Yogi Chick, how are you? Yogi Chick, good to see you. DJ Delight, welcome in. Slim C, yep. The fams are here, DJ. Good to hear your story. And we appreciate you so much for spending some time with us. Now, do you play out as well? Which do you prefer, or what's your difference and why?
I prefer to stream.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Playing out is great. Every DJ wants to do that, but I prefer to stream because at that point in time, I'm just in my own mode. Once I put my headphones on, everything around me is gone. I don't hear nothing but the music coming through those headsets. That's it, and I can concentrate on the music. I can hear the music coming in my head. That's why I play with 3 decks because I'm thinking so much more when I hear this one track and I listen to that track. When I'm playing out, a lot of times you're using 2 decks. So at that time, you're trying to slow your thinking down because the music is coming to you sometimes, and you can't queue up another track if there's a 3rd deck available. But it's fun playing out when you're seeing people obviously dancing and doing their thing. But I like streaming because it's, to me, it's just more exciting because you just never know who's going to show up. You never know who's watching you. It's just a lot of more excitement in streaming for me.
So when it comes to streaming, DJ Soul Dave put a question in the chat, and I'm sure others, have this question. What are your thoughts and ideas and tips on growing your community, especially getting it started and gaining some momentum and growth?
Well, one of the things I did for my channel, because again, like I said, I've been Twitch for 10 years, and I used to go and watch other DJs and watch their channels and listen to their music. And music, there's never a problem with the music. It's just that for me, you're just watching the DJ. And some people, that's what they want. That's great. But, for me, it's all about making the channel interactive. So if you got, nice pop-ups when people do stuff, you got showing great videos away from yourself and trying to get the video to match up with some track that you might be playing, or having something that's interactive on the channel, just to give people, add more fun to your music and what you're doing, because I don't want you to stand there and sit there and look at me all the time, because like I tell people, it's a reason why there's my show is 2 hours. It's that way on purpose, because if you turn on your television set, there is nothing on TV longer than 2 hours unless it's some type of special. And the reason for that is because your attention span is not very long. So if you're watching TV, and a lot of times you might be into that series or into that movie or whatever that's going on, but then there's times you get up, you go in the kitchen, you get something to drink, you do stuff, but you're still running, but you're just not watching. So I took that same concept and added to my channel, that I try to help other people, like, because people are not sitting there and just constantly watching you. You know, they're listening while they're driving, they're listening while they're doing housework, or they're listening while they're doing other things. So my thing is, if they get time to watch you, then give them other things to do while they're watching you. If they get a little bit moment. So for all the people out there that's new streamers and stuff, that's, you want to grow your channel and show people what you're doing. Let people know that you ain't playing nothing pre-recorded or something like that. Let them see you're working. That's one of my things. Let them see you using the equipment. You got all that equipment, but people just like, what is he really touching it? Show them that you're actually doing your job. Like
Momo TV Life said, her attention span is 2.5 hours at least.
She would say something like that.
Eva House Music Live. I don't know if I said hello, Eva House Music. If I didn't, let me say it. And if I've said it 2 times, it's just as good. So good to see you. Thanks for vibing with us. And everybody in the chat, see somebody you don't know, click the button. Everybody's been screen checked. Follow everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Hey, this has been a blast. How can people check you out and catch your stream?
They can catch my stream every Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. And you can catch me on Mixcloud. You can catch me on Rumble if you're on there. You can catch me on TikTok. You can catch me on IG. You can catch me on YouTube, Mixcloud. You can catch me on all those platforms that I stream on.
So there's no excuse.
No excuse. If you like what DJ Good is doing and you want to hear him, hey, he's always available. And
yes,
when we can have some fun with the music, it's just have fun with the music. So that's what
Luz Clarita LV sliding in. Good to see you. Tantalizing Tuesdays right before the Fam Tram Express. I don't have my echo button, so I can't do Express. Man, I've had just a wonderful time. Anything you leave the audience with before we head out of here and go party with the 10-year anniversary of House Rebel Radio?
Yeah. Hey guys, if you guys are out there and all the DJs on it, again, make sure you follow those DJs and make sure you appreciate what they're doing, because most of these guys they put in a lot of hard work for 60 minutes on a mixtape that you might hear that they might post, or a 2-hour, 3-hour, even a 4-hour show that these guys might be doing. Just take a little bit of time and try to understand what that DJ is trying to tell you, because if you watch me or listen to me, my motto is let's play some music, because there's so much music out there that comes out every day. Listen to it and enjoy it, because these DJs, they actually do their homework when they're playing on whatever day of the week they're playing, or wherever they're playing. If they're playing out, they actually do their homework and go and find music out there to play for you guys. So just make sure you send a shout out to those guys, because they actually do work hard doing it. And even if they work a full-time regular job and they DJ on the weekends, trust and believe, that's a lot of hard work trying to find music to play for you, to entertain you. And that's just what they do. Just show them a lot of appreciation for it. Just say, hey, I like what you're doing, and hey, this sounds great, and keep doing what you're doing. Just something, just to let them know that because again, most of these DJs have been doing it for years. They didn't just start doing it; they've been doing it most of their lives. So just
I love that. I love that. Hey, if you guys have fire or hearts, let's put some fire and hearts in the chat for DJ Good. and let him know we appreciate him coming on and spending some time with us and giving us some real talk, some straight talk. I appreciate you so much, brother. It has been a pleasure. And once again, everybody, our intention is to show you the people behind the music. So you get to learn little things like DJ Good grew up in Mississippi and then he made his way to Pennsylvania via New Jersey. So he's East Coast, East Coast. We ain't gonna hold that against him, no. You know,
Oh yeah.
shot town, shot town. Hey, the hearts are coming in, the fire is coming in. Everybody is loving what you're putting down.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you guys are
So
doing.
we're sending you guys to a party. So go party and tell them you had a great time at House Culture Conversations, but it's time to rock on. The party's getting started, and we will see you guys very soon. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, we will catch you next time. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys, enjoy.
And hold on one second.